Welcome to Raising Scholars, an educational podcast brought to you by the Lake Havasu Unified School District in partnership with Shawn, Lawless, and 32 Bravo Media. This is a podcast designed for families to hear all about the mission and vision of learning which is being carried out at LHUSD for the academic and social-emotional growth of students in our district. It is also a place to share tips, tools, advice, and reflections on how our schools, families, and community can help our students learn to make the most of their potential in their K-12 learning experience. We are so excited to be bringing you conversations on a variety of topics from educators, parents, administrators, alumni, and even students across our district. Our goal for you each time is to leave with a little bit more knowledge on how to help your students be successful. So let's dive on in together. Shyla Perkins currently serves as the Student Assistant Program Coordinator for the Havasu Community Health Foundation. She has a bachelor's degree from ASU in health education and serves to coordinate many of the programs within the foundation that support LHUSD students. A self-proclaimed big kid, she loves to create engaging curriculum that inspires students throughout Lake Havasu City. SAP gives students a chance to be heard when they feel like they might not be heard anywhere else. She is passionate about the well-being of our youth and shows it every day. We're excited to have her here. Shyla, we're so excited to have you here today from Havasu Community Health Foundation to talk a little bit about how community resources are branching with us to support our kids and our families in our community. So thanks again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, and so we're gonna dive right on into the questions because I really wanna be able to have you share some of your background and some of what the Health Foundation is doing, both within our schools and outside of our schools. So the first question is really just all about you. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself. How did your background lead you into your role with Havasu Community Health Foundation?
So actually, I've always been a strong leader in community work and through education. So I went to Arizona State University for health promotion education, and my internship was through the foundation.
Oh, okay.
So I was lucky enough to get to know everyone and take a deep dive into all of what a nonprofit is. I didn't just focus in one thing.
Oh, that's great.
So I was able to get my job through the foundation after graduation.
Okay. And when did you start fully?
2020.
Okay.
2021, I believe.
Was
I
when
graduated
you
2020.
Was after you finished your internship?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. And so since then, I am the coordinator for the SAP program.
Okay.
So what we do is we're peer-to-peer groups. We go into the schools. We teach like self-esteem, motivation, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm very fond of the SAP program.
Yes, my heart is definitely in it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to Grand Canyon University for mental health counseling with an emphasis on adolescent disorders.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So yeah, I'm really hoping to help
community.
this community. I plan to stay in this community, and I want to stay with the foundation.
So for the parents listening, can you just explain what SAP means?
So SAP is our student assistance program, and that is where we do small peer-to-peer groups, no more than 8, and we give kids a chance to talk.
Okay.
There's so many different stressors. They need a chance to break down and vent about those things.
Okay.
We teach skills for resiliency. We teach about anger skills, coping with different emotions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and that's the primary role that you serve.
That's my primary role.
Okay. So tell us about some of the programs that Havasu Community Health Foundation has that directly support the families in our community. You started with the SAP program. Maybe
Yes.
you can expand on that and include any of the other ones that you would want them to know about?
Yes, so we have 20 health-related programs and 9 social service programs.
Okay.
So, for example, the Food Bank on Kiowa, that is us.
Okay.
So for families who are in need of food, we provide drive-through food bank.
Can you, do you remember the exact location in case they were wondering where to go?
I know it's on Kiowa. I don't know the exact address,
But
it's up from Rusty's.
Okay, great.
We have our labs and screenings program.
Okay.
So if your insurance doesn't cover certain labs or ultrasounds or mammograms or anything like that, we do a voucher program, mostly through the hospital and Havasu Imaging.
Okay.
And what we do is we do a voucher program. You pay us through a donation, and then you can go and get yours at a discounted price.
Okay, and is that for any type of service? Like, would that be if they wanted to go just labs, or is it for a pediatric visit or a dentist visit? I don't know what that limits to.
So it is labs, specific labs,
Okay.
more generalized ones.
That's great. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes.
Okay. Any other programs that you haven't mentioned that you'd want them to know about?
Yes, our veterans backpack program. So
Okay.
for our homeless veterans, we do make backpacks
Okay.
and we hand them out. They are in our hospital. They're in the jailer's office in case they need it. We prep them. We hand them out in the desert.
Okay.
We also do veterans court, where our veterans who may need help, instead of going to the bars or things like that, they go celebrate. So it's through the veterans court system.
Okay. So are these specific to students?
More parents.
So this would be if a
This is
family has a
abroad.
veteran and okay, that's
or
great.
if someone has dementia, we have our dementia caregiving groups. We also have our virtual dementia tour.
Okay.
So you can kind of get a glimpse of what it's like. Okay. We also have our stroke support group. So if you know someone who's had a stroke,
so if there's someone in your
parents
family that
or grandparents, they can go and learn. We have a speech pathologist who helps along the way.
Okay.
So she helps with memory, speaking, swallowing, things like that.
Okay. Anything else that they would? I mean, I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything.
We do have our cancer association. They do a lot within the town. We have a WIG program. They do.
What is WIG?
So like wigs for if you're going through chemotherapy and you lose your hair.
Okay.
They also help with transportation in some ways, and they do a lot of shows in town.
Okay, and so that's great, because if any of the families are going through any medical issues that they might need additional support with, then that would be a wonderful resource.
Yes.
So that kind of takes me into some of the partnerships that you have. I know that you currently have a partnership with MCC right now, which I'll have you share about in a second. Yes. But what other community partners do you work with regularly to build on your programs? What are the typical relationships that you have that would impact our kids at home?
So we collaborate a lot with the hospitals. Okay. So for our labs and screenings, so like I said, if mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever needs labs, we collaborate with the hospital. Okay. We also collaborate with a regional center for border health.
Okay.
I know they have a pediatrics program too, but we do a lot of our back to school.
So like your back to school fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of the vaccines and things like that are done through.
Okay. Now, speaking of the back to school fair, that actually happens in August, right?
Yes, right before school.
Okay. Well, so is it July or August? I'm trying to remember, because I think
last year it was August. I'm not sure on the dates
this
year coming up.
But so for our parents who maybe haven't attended the back to school health fair yet, I mean, there's a really good attendance typically year to year.
Yes.
But if they don't know about it, what kind of things might they find when they go there?
So when they go there, we have booths all set around. So every group that we have at the foundation tries to set up something.
Okay.
For the kids, we do different activities, games, prizes.
Okay.
But they can also get vaccinations. They can also get different backpacks and school supplies. We try to fundraise for those.
Okay.
So if you're in need of school supplies, you can always come to our back to school health fair and see what we have.
So some of the community partners that you were just mentioning, they're also at the fair, right?
Yes.
So what other community partners might be there?
We have a ton of people at our health fair.
Okay.
I mean, we had
like the hospital,
our EMTs.
Okay.
They do a CPR demonstration a lot of the time. It's always different.
Okay.
Sea Scouts were there.
Perfect.
First Things First were there.
Okay. I know Rotary was giving away bicycle helmets
as
well.
The museum had a booth. So we have a lot.
Is it just to share their local programs?
Yes, it shares the local programs. They do giveaways. Just a fun day for the kids.
Okay.
At no cost to the families.
Okay. And and you're kind of a star in the community, at least coming up. So
I'm trying.
so MCC is one other partner that I know of myself that you're aware of, or that you work with. So can you share a little bit about your programs that are coming up? Because I know if we have families that have littles, that might be something that might be up their alley.
Yes, we have a story time with Shyla, which is exciting. So what I do is I read a story pertaining to that month's theme.
Okay.
And then we do a craft that follows along with it. It's free to the community.
Okay.
It's at the MCC library from 5:30 to 6:30.
Okay.
And it's a fun event.
And there's 4 different dates, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I don't have the dates on me, but it's the last Monday of the month.
Okay.
For each month consecutive.
And I know that we just sent out a flyer for that, I believe, yesterday, and there will be more going out. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, this one is going to be Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to be doing a Shelter for Sadness.
Okay.
And talking about a wellness wheel for our kiddos.
Oh, and that's super important, because a lot of kids are trying to process a lot of things that they don't know how to share and communicate with, which leads to behaviors sometimes, right? If they don't understand how to communicate. So is that your purpose for this?
That is my purpose and my goal, to get our kids to have something fun, something rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And to bring the families and get the families involved too, I would imagine.
Exactly.
Good. So one of the other questions that I had was, we're always a work in progress, right? Schools, community, like in general, we're always looking to find better ways to reach our families.
Yes.
So the next question I was thinking about was, what different types of outreach do you feel our community needs to continue to build in order to support families? So how can we get better? Like, what do you think?
Personally, our goal for the foundation is to create more mental health services.
Okay.
Collaborate with the community to see our needs and
Okay.
what we want to accomplish. But I think mental health is a big component we need to focus on as a community.
So where does that come from? Do you have a lot of families reaching out to have a community health foundation?
Yes.
Like, where do you get this data, I guess?
With SAP,
Okay.
I have a lot of students who are maneuvering through different situations.
Okay.
So we're really trying to help them and build resiliency.
Okay.
But I mean, for our teachers, our educators,
Sure.
we need something for them as well. For people who are just down on their luck, our You Matter program, suicide prevention,
Right.
they do a lot in the community
Yes,
to help with
absolutely.
suicide prevention.
We have
so
the You Matter Walk, right?
yes, we
And
have the You
that's-
Matter Walk,
Is that in January or is that earlier?
September, and
The
then
months have gone very quickly this
yes,
year.
they have. But they also have at the school the Harlem Globetrotter who's coming
Yes.
to speak.
And I don't remember what date that is, do you?
I'm not sure,
That's okay.
but
So thinking about the SAP program, because I know as an administrator, that's something that we worked with you personally on that.
yes,
And what I can tell you is from a parent perspective, I'm always hoping to be able to share more with parents what the purpose of SAP is, because the small groups aren't just for kids who are in trouble. They're not.
No.
That's not the purpose of that. They're for kids who potentially have gone through family divorce, right?
yes,
Or loss, or potential trauma, but trauma looks different in different kids. So could you share maybe a few examples of what that might look like in terms of, hey, I'm a parent, my daughter or son might be needing some support, but I don't know like what that would look like. So
Yes.
who would you be reaching out to?
So I reach out to the schools and we discuss the curriculum and what we want offered, but for grief and loss, we always find a way. Grief and loss is something that touches me personally.
Sure.
I lost a brother at age 12,
Oh,
so I didn't have that help, so if I can help a student who's going through that same process,
sure.
that's what makes my job. Self-esteem is a
Yeah.
big one that we focus on. Any concerns, I create the curriculum, I customize it to the needs of the schools and the needs of the specific students.
Right.
So parents can get in contact with me and I can make that curriculum up. We can try to implement that in.
Well, and I feel like it really gives the kids an opportunity to create connections with peers that maybe they wouldn't have had to connect with before.
Yes, we have made strong friendships.
Good.
We have helped kids realize it's not about a popularity contest. You
Right.
can be friends with anybody.
Absolutely. So thank you for doing that. We
Thank you.
appreciate the programs and all that you guys bring to the schools here in Lake Havasu. So thinking again about the parents, I'm always trying to think of it from a parent's perspective. So what do you feel like parents can do to advocate their needs to the community or directly to Havasu Community Health Foundation? What would you tell them to do?
Call the foundation. So our phone number right here is 928-453-8190.
Okay.
And what you can do is call and let us know your needs.
Okay.
Because then we can kind of direct you to the right direction. We have like 30 different programs, so
Sure.
there's something for everybody.
Sure. And if they're hesitant to reach out, of course, if they go to the local school, whatever school that you're with, calling your local administrator would be able to get you in touch with
Yes,
their programs
yes.
as well. Sometimes it's about trust, and they want to be able to even sometimes it's your teacher, reaching out to your teacher first and then your administrator, just depending on how comfortable you are in those situations. But absolutely. So anything else that you would feel like they should be doing to advocate? Are there any other resources that you would want to share?
So everything's on a customizable base.
Okay.
So every client is different, and when they call, we just direct them in the direction they need to go. If they want to advocate through volunteer, we're always looking for volunteers,
Okay.
whether that be in the front desk answering phones, facilitating a SAP group.
So
helping
like
with
if they
paperwork.
needed help with counseling, you would potentially connect them
We
with
try
their
to
local
connect
community.
them.
Okay.
We try to give them resources,
Okay.
and we do look up resources. So we'll
Okay.
give them different phone numbers and
Okay.
try to steer them.
And most of our schools have counselors too, so those are always things we're looking to is to make sure that you have the updated communication, that our school counselors and administrators have that updated information too for those
Yeah.
resources. So the last question I have before we have a little bit of fun is how do parents reach out if they want to access the different programs you offer? Now, you just shared the phone number. What are some upcoming programs that you'd like to share? We shared about Shyla, the story time with Shyla. Is there anything that is coming up for Havasu Community Health Foundation that we left off the table?
We are having several events.
Okay.
For dementia, we have Tipa Snow coming.
And I've been to that.
Yes.
She's amazing.
She is amazing.
Absolutely.
You can call the foundation and get your tickets.
Yeah.
We also have a couple shows coming up. Desperado, which is an Eagles tribute band.
Okay.
And I believe the Rolling
Is that
Stones.
a fundraiser for
Yes,
the
that's for
foundation?
cancer.
Okay, just so they know.
That's for our cancer association.
Okay, great. Okay.
And then the Rolling Stones tribute band.
Okay.
That is for the foundation in general.
So all of the money, so for when people attend things like this, all the money goes back into the programs that you offer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then when you do come into the office, if you're doing like the taxes, keeping the taxes in our local
credit.
Yep,
Yeah.
the tax credit.
Okay.
You can pick between the food bank, the veterans, or SAP.
Okay.
And then you can make just donations, and you can pick what specific group you want it to go to.
Okay.
So it doesn't just all go towards the general foundation.
So really what I want to make sure that our Lake Havasu is a small community, and I feel like our Lake Havasu School District, LHUSD is it's a small rural district, although we feel very big sometimes, right? But there are always parents and families that maybe just don't have the information. So I'm just really thankful for you coming and sharing this information.
Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative to be here.
Well, so before we wrap it up, we're gonna have some fun with some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Do you know what rapid fire is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So these questions just help everybody to get to know you just a little bit better.
Perfect,
Okay.
perfect.
So what was your favorite thing about when you grew up or went to high school?
Here in town,
I was
Rotary.
gonna say you graduated from here, right?
Loved going to Rotary.
Okay.
I loved going into the parks and walking around. We have the most beautiful parks ever.
Absolutely. What year did you graduate?
2012.
For those people who are alumni?
2012
Okay,
for
well-
the high school, and 2020 for ASU.
So your 10 year, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. How
Yes,
old
I
are you?
am.
You're making me feel old, but that's okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Spread kindness.
Oh,
It's
an important skill.
everyone needs some kindness in their life.
Absolutely. Well, and I feel like that's a superpower anybody can build, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So being that you are now 10 years out of high school, what is one thing you would tell your 10-year-old self now to give them perspective?
To keep trying, because
Okay.
no matter how many times you fail, if you get back up, you'll succeed sooner or later.
And I feel like unless you fail, you don't
You
figure
don't
out how to
learn.
grow, right?
Yeah, you don't learn from it.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the most influential person in your life?
Oh, that's a hard question.
Okay.
I have a lot. But if I had to put it to one, I'd probably say my mom.
Okay. Why?
Because she's always given me support, and I've always had someone to talk to.
Good.
And no matter how many times I've tried at something, she's been my cheerleading squad.
That's what moms are for, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad that you guys have that relationship. That's super important. Okay. This is down to the wire.
Okay.
What was your favorite subject?
Ooh, science. Science for sure. I love science.
And so your worst?
Math. Which they go hand in hand.
It's just like most people like science and math, and other people like ELA and writing. But...
I like math when it's associated with science.
Okay.
But math is like...
So you like
just-
chemistry?
Yes. Yes.
That's super great because chemistry was not my favorite. I mean, I learned it, but... Okay, so then what type of learner are you?
I'm a hands-on learner.
Okay.
I love like hands-on experiments.
Absolutely.
And I try to do that with my students as well. We do a lot of hands-on.
That's good.
We do a lot of activities, so like compliment ball, where we build each other up by saying compliments, but we toss the ball.
Which is so important because some of those kids absolutely need those interactions to learn.
Yes.
That's great. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A marine biologist.
Really?
I watched a lot of the Animal Planet when I was little.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a marine biologist because I love ocean life.
Oh, that's great. So I'm guessing you go to the ocean often? Maybe, maybe not?
Not as much as I'd like to,
Okay.
but I think about it a lot.
Okay. Last one is, what was your favorite book you read when you were in school? What book do you remember from when you
I
were a
really
kid?
loved The Diary of Anne Frank because it put a
Oh.
really good perspective.
Well, and that's a good book for no matter what age you are, right?
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for letting me get to know you a little bit more.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, and we're just excited for the parents to listen to this and for them to potentially access a lot of the resources that you've shared with us today.
Yes,
so thanks again for coming with us, Shyla.
If there's any questions or concerns, always call the foundation.
Okay.
We will steer you in the right direction.
We absolutely will. Thanks again, Shyla, for being here.
Thank
you. Good.
We want to take the time today to thank you and Shawn Lawless from 32 Bravo Media for helping make our Raising Scholars broadcast a reality. You can tune into this or any new episode at our Lake Havasu Unified School District website, on the communications page, on our LHUSD Facebook page or YouTube channel, or linked into our quarterly newsletters. Don't forget to tune in to our next episode. We can't wait to see you there, because at the end of the day, the most overwhelming key to a child's success is the positive involvement of their parents.